If you want to make your Tinder account so fire that Tinder itself will literally spam you with messages begging you to join their top 1% exclusive Tinder SELECT $800 a month community, then all you have to do is watch to the end of this video, because I went from a completely dead account to now being in the top 1% of all users on Tinder. And I don't know if that's something to brag about. This is coming from Tinder themselves, all right? So I'm your guy, I'm your boy. If you want to take your Tinder to the top level, all these other videos on YouTube, most of them is just going to be a bunch of BS, okay? This is the video that keeps it real, okay? I'm going to tell you exactly how to get there. So all you have to do is just watch to the end of this video. I just want to give a quick preface, I don't know how to say that. Okay, so before we start getting into the nitty-gritty details on how to actually take your Tinder to the top level, I first want to just go over this real quick. I'm sure that you are a high-value man, right? You want to have a high-quality girl to call yours, right? So with that being said, you have standards, right? You don't want to just date the town bike, right? You should be wanting to date a high-quality girl. So this is going to be how to optimize your Tinder account to attract a high quality girl. But in saying that, you're obviously still going to be attracting a lot of low quality girls, just because your Tinder is going to be so inviting that they just can't resist swiping right on you. So it's up to you to properly vet the girls that you match with so that you can separate the good from the bad. Bad photos are photos that are blurry, out of focus, low quality, low resolution. They are forced photos. You don't want to have forced photos. I want you to think about like back when you were a kid and like your parents wanted to take a photo of you, and they would always say, you know, smile. And then you force this like cheesy smile and it never looks good, right? The photo's always like super corny, super awkward, super cringy, right? You want to avoid those forced photos because these typically give off like bad vibes. It's not like the right vibe you want to be putting out there on your Tinder account. So avoid pics such as most gym pics, shower pics. Like before you shower and you got the towel around you, don't put things like that up on your Tinder. Selfies, high school prom pics, flexing your muscles to show off your physique, Snapchat filters or photos of you wearing trash outfits. If every single photo that you have up is clearly you taking it of yourself, that's not good either. Do not post pics of you with your arm around another girl or a girl with her arm around you. Any high quality girl is going to swipe left immediately. Don't post pics of you flexing your jaw to show off your sharp jawline. Do not post only group photos where she can't tell who you are in the photos, right? Because what's going to happen is, yeah, maybe she'll swipe right to message you to ask you who you are in that photo, but if you're not the most attractive guy, she's going to block you immediately. So that's just a big waste of your time. All right, so let's quickly go over what we want to look for in good photos. It's essentially the opposite of bad photos, right? So you want to have clear photos, they're in focus, they're high quality, good lighting. Instead of being forced, they are caught in the moment type of photos, like very candid photos. And these give off very good vibes. So for example, like POV photos of what it will look like if she was on a cute coffee date with you, or if you took her out to a nice restaurant. Like what's she gonna see if this happened? Have a photo showing that you know how to dress up, but also have like a goofy photo to show that you don't take yourself too seriously. You want to make sure you have clean outfits in these photos, and at least one picture of you smiling or smirking, but it can't be forced. It has to be a genuine one. And if you would like to put up a physique photo, like obviously you want to show off you have like a very attractive aesthetic body, the best way to do this would be to get a like action shot of you at the beach playing beach volleyball or like climbing out the pool or something. Okay, those are much better than just a gym pic of you flexing. Okay, the vibes are completely different. Now, if you really don't know what photos to take after hearing all that, you don't know where to start. My friend Julian over at Freedom Seeker Community, he taught me the 3% rule. Basically what this rule is you want to go on the internet, whether that's Instagram, Pinterest, whatever, find some really cool photos that give off good vibes, that match the criteria of good photos, as I just taught you. And what you want to do is recreate them, but do not fully copy them 100%, because that's going to be a forced photo, right? If you copy someone's like exact body language, if they're like drinking something, or like the exact setup, exact location, wearing the exact same clothes, it's going to be forced. It's not going to come off with good vibes. It's just not going to be good. It's called the 3% rule because you need to change it by 3%. So just slightly change it. That way it becomes an original photo of you, and it becomes a caught in the moment photo, and it gives off good vibes. So that's where you can start if you really don't know where to start. All right, so now how do we actually take the photos themselves? All right, so first off, I want you to copy the settings that I have set for my own camera. This is for my iPhone 11. So there might be some different variables depending on your own phone. And I cannot remember exactly why these settings are the way they are, but I learned this somewhere. I really don't remember where I learned it. If I did, I'll obviously share it with you guys. But these settings have literally given me the best results. Like my photos, everyone keeps asking me, how did you get it so like crystal clear? Why does your phone have high quality photos than mine if it's a like older iPhone? Literally just copy these settings, bro. Just do this and take all your photos in the 1x lens. Don't be doing the 0.5 or the other ones. Keep them all in the 1x lens. When taking your photos, you need to always keep in mind of the rule of thirds. Now, I'm pretty sure you can toggle this on or off. It's just that grid that comes up when you open your camera app on your phone. You want to understand what the rule of thirds are. So basically keep your subject, which should be you, on one of these like rule of thirds. Try to avoid being completely in the center. It usually looks better if you're on one of the thirds, like I'm showing you right now. It just looks a bit more like aesthetic. Obviously right now I'm not really following this rule. I'm sitting directly in the middle. Look for freaking lines in the background. For example, a line could be the horizon. Keep the horizon if you can on one of these thirds. It looks a lot better, okay? It makes it look more aesthetic. And also learn basic color theory. Now this is not complicated at all. Just all I mean by this is understand complementary colors. It's very simple to learn. You can literally just search up on Google right now, complementary color wheel, and there you go. You can match complementary colors. That's all you really need to know, okay? So for example, like teal and tan are very complementary colors. They're very aesthetic to look at. And what's teal and tan? Well, that's going to be like a sunset. That's why sunsets are super aesthetic and pleasing to look at. So you want to keep that in mind. So you can like match colors. Like for example, on this photo that I have up on my Tinder, it's a POV photo of a restaurant, what it would look like for a girl to be on a nice, dinner date with me. And the complementary colors here, what make it look really cool is the gold or the yellow candle plus the lights complementing the blue table cover or the tablecloth or whatever. And notice how this photo looks very clean. The outfit's clean. It's also a goofy photo as well because I'm like halfway through like shoving some food into my mouth. So it just gives off very good vibes, right? And another golden tidbit is when you take the photo, actually before you do it, you want to lower the exposure just a little bit. And to do that, simply just tap on the screen to focus it and you'll get that little slider on the right. Drag that down just a little bit. You'll see the display will actually become a bit darker. And for whatever reason, that just makes photos look just high quality. It makes it look more professional. I don't know why, but it just works, okay? Okay, so once you've taken some fire photos, you can actually make them pop just that slight little bit more. That makes all the difference, okay? So to do this is how you edit your photos. Now with editing your photos, you don't want to go like over the top, don't go crazy. Keep it subtle, you don't want it to be noticeable. There's usually only 3 things that I adjust when it comes to my photos personally, and that would be the brightness. If I'm looking very pale or I don't look as tan as I normally do, I'll actually lower the brightness a little bit. And then once you've done that, I will actually adjust the saturation because sometimes lowering the brightness can make you look very like orange or something, just like throws off your skin tone. And with the saturation, you can adjust that. Like if you're still not looking tan enough, you can increase the saturation, make you look a bit more tan. It makes colors pop, but you want to be very careful with that. If you slide that slider too far, too high, it's going to look unnatural. It's going to look extremely vivid, and that's not what you want. So if you are also looking like you're too tan, you can just lower the saturation and then there you go. So the third and final edit that I will usually do is the sharpness. And you also want to be careful with this as well, because if it's too sharp, it just looks grainy, which can work for some specific photos, but just all in all, just adjust the sharpness just a little bit, just enough to make you pop. And then that's all the editing I'm going to tell you to do, okay? You really don't need to do much more than that. I'm not even going to say like color grading and stuff, because one thing is like you can make your photos look extremely professional, but then it almost doesn't feel real. It looks too professional, right? It's like if you see like an account on Tinder that has only like top level modeling, like photography type of photos, you almost feel like this is not even how the person really looks like in real life. You want to give that real life vibe, that real life feel to your photos, okay? And that comes with just minimal editing. Okay, now for your bio, it needs to say something. Give the girl some sort of, you know, something to, if she wants to like message you first, she can like message you in relation to your bio. It needs to say something, man. It needs to give her something to work with, you know? But don't say some boring ass shit in there. Don't like freaking give your entire life story in there. You know, I'm this age, I go to this university, I do this job and all that. That's boring, okay? No one, give some mystery, man. Let her figure that out by vetting you, okay? And then you can also, you vet her as well and figure that stuff about her too, okay? Because if you give too much away, it just kills the mystery. It kills the attraction, right? These are the type of questions that you could be like asking on a date. A lot of people struggle on the first date because I've already asked all the freaking questions like that through text. And then when they're on that first date, they don't have anything to talk about, right? So keep an air of mystery, but keep something in your bio. And do not ignore the interests section, okay? This is important because the algorithm is gonna see, okay, you're interested in beaches. Okay, well, this girl is also interested in beaches too. So the algorithm is going to put girls with similar interests that you have on your swipe on your feed so you can match with them and have something in common. Okay, so don't ignore the interests. And in terms of like keeping it mysterious about you, so she actually wants to find out more about you, for example, with like the job title, I just leave it as entrepreneur. And I've had so many girls message me and say, oh, hello, Mr. Entrepreneur, what do you do? So yeah, then you can still keep it mysterious and just be like, yeah, I'm a content creator. And then she goes, oh, what for? And then, you know, you keep it vague, and then she's still gonna be like very curious about you. Or you could just like respond with something funny like, oh yeah, I do OnlyFans. And then they go, what, really? And you're like, no. Yeah, just have fun with it, man. Like, it's not that deep. If you would like me to run through every single photo I took, if you would, I can't even speak, man. If you would like me to run through every single photo that I personally have on my Instagram, how I took them, like how I planned them, you know, everything, just go into the nitty gritty details and go in depth on them so that you can actually you can literally steal my photos. I don't even care. Like, change them 3%, you know, follow the 3% rule, do what I've done, just, you know, do that. I'm hooking you up. This is how you get that top 1% account. Comment down below, I'll make that video. It'll probably be a very long video, obviously, if I want to go in depth. I try to keep this video just straight to the point. With all being said, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.